What's up everybody, Sujan here. New format for the video we're gonna try out. I got Moby here who's gonna be joining the videos. He's gonna be asking me some tough questions.
Tough but stupid, but tough.
But sometimes they're gonna be good. So
yes.
What are we talking about today? What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about your biggest mistake last year that you made as a marketer and an entrepreneur. What was it? Tell us.
I don't know, man. I made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I probably made at least like 50, 60 mistakes. But I like making these mistakes.
Yeah.
I learn from them. But probably the biggest one is I spread myself too thin. And not too thin in necessarily the things I'm involved in. Obviously, I have a bunch of businesses. I do a lot of traveling and whatnot. But where I made the biggest mistake is spreading myself too thin in our marketing channels that we focus on. So all my businesses, I got the agency, you've got the SaaS businesses. What we ended up doing is that we focused on too many different things.
Which things?
So we did, we invested in content marketing, SEO, we tried PPC, we tried outbound sales, meaning outbound either cold calls or we did some advertising and sponsorships at conferences. Ultimately, we tried probably a couple dozen different tactics and strategies that didn't end up resulting in a lot of different not all of them worked. Yeah. And some of them we kind of half-assed. And not because we intentionally wanted to half-ass them, more so that we half-assed them because we didn't give ourselves enough time.
How do you know the balance in when you plan, for example, the next year or even the next month? How do you know if you're going to half-ass something and you should actually not try it? Yeah,
so ultimately it comes down to how much time do you have? And this is, in another video we're going to talk about this, but it's working backwards from your goals, right? So like, what was my goal for 17 is to double our consulting practice. And that means we needed to get about 10 to 12 new customers in the door. And so let's just talk about that. If we wanted to get 10 to 12 new customers in the door, what do I need to do to get there? And what I ended up doing was doing a lot of different things that would, one or two of those combined would help me get there. Okay. But if I focus just on one and doing it even better or the best possible way, I could have got there.
So it's to work backwards from your goal and concentrate your efforts rather than saying, these are the 5, 6 things I'm going to do and I might get the goals that I want.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, like we focus on, let's just break it down very, very specifically. For Where Profits, our agency, we invested in content marketing. Yeah. We invested in paid advertising. So we did Facebook ads, AdWords, some remarketing, and things like that. We sponsored a few conferences. I spoke at dozens of, I think it was like 40 conferences.
A year? Okay.
That last year. That was crazy. That's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that later. And I think there's a few other things we did. But like, and we tested outbound sales. Look, that's like 5 or 6 different things. You have 12 months in a year. We have 3 people on the marketing team. Myself, which is only a sliver of my time, my partner, portion of his time, and we have a full-time marketer who markets like 3 different markets because What Profits is in Australia, US, and Singapore. So 1/3, let's just say 1/3 of everyone's time, one full-time person that makes up one full-time person. That's not a lot. A 12 thing, the handful of tactics I mentioned, that's a lot to do for one person. If we would have just said, let's go sponsor conferences and do a booth, let's just do that 3 times. Well, the reality is, if our goal was to get 10 to 12 new customers or new clients, we could have done it with just 1. In fact, the last conference we sponsored got us exactly that goal.
Okay, so just narrow it down.
Yeah, so it means in 1 month, we got the goal of what we tried to get for the whole year. So why not just do that, but better?
Okay. So what would you say to someone who right now has a goal, who know their goal, they're trying to work backwards, but they're feeling too scattered?
Yeah, so I think the biggest recommendation is to focus, figure out what are the 1 or 2 or 3 things that are actually going to help you hit your goal. So again, like our example, my example is I wanted to get 12 new customers. How many leads do I have to get for that, right? What do I need to do to get those leads? What are the channels that are going to get me the leads, right? And so, in reality, most of the leads came from referrals, which were things I did years before, the years leading into it. So let's call that building my personal brand. So it was just delayed effect about building my personal brand. Number 2 is, okay, we got 50 something leads from a conference that we sponsored. Okay, what's the conversion rate from a lead to a customer for us, right? We got to get on the phone, we got to get a call.
So map out what it's going to take.
Yeah, like do the math.
Okay.
Think when you're all scattered, turn off the internet, turn off your computer, get a piece of paper, a white paper from a printer, and write down all the things you're doing and how many leads each one can give you, how much traffic can give you, and then what's the conversion rate to a lead, and then what's the conversion rate from a lead to a visitor or to a customer, and you'll find out what each of those things is going to actually provide you. And there you have your answer, right? You'll know the ones that are going to provide you the most value and the least value. And what will likely happen is that you'll probably find out that some of these things that you're doing are not going to prove out. If, let's say, you're doing a bunch of content marketing, and that might be good for next year, but for this year, it's not going to actually provide you ROI. So maybe you don't invest as much into it, or you know that it's going to be something for the long term.
Okay,
right?
so
it's just reframing your process.
So people watching right now, if they know their goals for this month, this year, they should map them out, figure out what the funnel is going to look like, and focus on the things that actually are going to give the most results. Correct?
And work backwards.
Exactly.
Start with working backwards and then do those steps. I think that's a great way to get started for this new year. And I think that's something you should do every month, every quarter, every year to make sure you're not wasting any time.
Cool. Well, if you liked this video, please let us know on the comments. And let us know what's your biggest mistake that you made last year. And we're going to respond and hopefully give some advice. And please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and have a good day.